In this, we are going to know interesting facts about its snows in the Sahara Desert. Colombia's brightest rainbow is in its river. Machu Picchu is an earthquake-proof city. San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge speaks. And many like this. Let's start. The Sahara Desert used to be a tropical rainforest. The Sahara again? Trust me, this one's extra cool. The Sahara Desert is known for being the world's hottest desert. However, just 6,000 years ago, this dry land was a lush rainforest with thick vegetation and high rainfall. Although we didn't witness the Sahara in full bloom, future generations might. If the world survives the next 10,000 years, the same constant change in weather patterns could leave the Sahara looking a whole lot different. San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge speaks. This is one of the newer facts about the world. In June 2020, San Francisco's beloved Golden Gate Bridge started speaking up about some amendments made to the railings on the bike path. Literally. San Franciscans reported hearing eerie sounds from several kilometers away. City officials explained it to be a case of high winds passing through the new handrails. The bridge is safer for users when it faces less wind resistance. Therefore, the sound is a good sign that strong winds are passing through the bridge smoothly. China has only one time zone. Having a single time zone is fine if the sun rises and sets at the same time for everyone. However, as Beijing is preparing to go to bed at midnight, folks in Xinjiang are just beginning to watch the sunset. That's pretty wild considering how China is almost the size of the United States, which has 6 time zones. Interestingly, China didn't always operate on Beijing Time. Beijing Standard Time was only established in 1949, a decision by Chairman Mao Zedong in the name of national unity. Before that, in 1912, there were 5 recognized time zones that were 5.5 to 8.5 hours past Greenwich Mean Time. Luckily, working around one time zone is but a mild inconvenience to the Chinese. However, travelers planning to backpack through China should prepare for their body clocks to get a little confused. There are only 2 countries in the world where Coca-Cola does not exist. You might think Coca-Cola is something you can find anywhere in the world, but these 2 countries have been in long-term U.S. trade embargoes, North Korea since 1950 and Cuba since 1962. However, North Korea has made its own dark-colored soda. They call it Ryongjin Cola, or Cocoa Sparkling. It has the similar red packaging and cursive font, but does it have the same great taste? Let us know in the comments if you've tried it. Machu Picchu is an earthquake-proof city. This ancient Inca town rests on top of 2 fault lines in Peru. That means earthquakes were expected events. So how did they live through it? In fact, the Incans created a brilliant engineering technique called ashlar masonry, where rocks are cut to fit perfectly together without mortar. This allowed the stones to move in its place during an earthquake before settling back in their original positions. Genius or what? Normally you'd find rainbows in the sky, but the Caño Cristales, also known as the River of 5 Colors, beams brighter than any rainbow in the sky. Located in Colombia's Serranía de la Macarena National Natural Park, this stunning river owes its multicolored beauty to the Macarenia clavigera, a plant that lives in the riverbed. It's best to visit between May to November when the river weeds blossom in yellow, blue, green, and red. They get brighter hues during this time as the waters are shallower, allowing more sunlight to reach the plants. You could walk from Russia to Alaska on ice. Between Russia and Alaska lies the Bering Strait. When it freezes up in the winter, you can journey across, with 3.8 kilometers being the shortest end. However, just because it's possible doesn't mean it's legal or safe, as the ocean winds are extremely cold and the ice below may shift. In 2006, Two adventurers set out from Alaska to cross the frozen path on foot. They crossed 90 km in 15 days before they were detained in Russia for violating immigration laws. Pro tip: don't do it. You can go on a safari in Sri Lanka. Kenya isn't the only safari experience. There's another place closer to home that's half the price with its own set of amazing wildlife. Less than 4 hours away in charming Sri Lanka is Asia's very own safari. On the open plains of Yala National Park, you'll spot elephants, leopards, and even aquatic birds. Or visit Wilpatu National Park to see axis deer and sloth bears. The best time to visit would be between March and October. Water levels are lower and you'll see more animals come out to drink. Another cool fact about Sri Lanka is the annual sightings of migrating blue whales. Between December to April, witness the biggest animals in the world feed on krill in the southern coast. The whales usually hang out in the waters by Marissa. You'll pass the town on the way to Yala National Park, so why not pop in for some whale watching before your safari adventure? It snows in the Sahara Desert. Deserts are known to have very low precipitation, and if rainfall is rare, wouldn't snowfall be even rarer? Well, the impossible happened in 2018, and the Sahara Desert was covered in a blanket of white snow. However, the snow only lasted for a day before melting under the hot sun. The first recorded snowfall was in 1979, a snowstorm that lasted half an hour. Although temperatures drop to freezing in the night, the lack of moisture makes it almost impossible to produce any snow. But who knows, you might be lucky enough to see it on your next trip to the Sahara. Sudan has the most pyramids in the world, not Egypt. Egypt and pyramids are almost synonymous, but did you know there are pyramids in Sudan too? Nubia, a region in Sudan, has 255 pyramids, twice the number in Egypt. After ruling Egypt's 25th dynasty, the Nubian pharaohs fled to Sudan and formed the Kushite kingdom, incorporating the Egyptian culture in their new city. The Nubian pyramids aren't as widely visited as those in Egypt, so chances are you'll have the pyramids all to yourself. Jebel Barkal is the most rewarding out of the 4 main sites. The pyramids there are well preserved and stand beside a small mountain. Climb up the mountain just before sunset to catch stunning views of the Nile. Thank you guys. See you in next video.